Hey, this is Rose the Mermaid, and you're watching the Network317 podcast.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another episode of the Network 317 podcast. We have F.B.A. artist Rose the Mermaid. What's going on?
Not much, just chilling, trying to enjoy the sun while we have it.
I'm telling you, hey, I tell you what, I was outside today and I was like, wow, man, I just know the way, because we're from Indianapolis or just east of Indianapolis. So I know if you get too excited, it's going to come back and bite you in the rear because don't
Oh yeah,
enjoy it too
Kansas
long.
City weather. If you don't like it, just wait 30 minutes. It'll change.
Right. We call it bipolar.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself. Tell us about Rose the Mermaid and who you are, what you're about, and a little bit about your music.
Well, I'm just a Kansas City native. I'm a nanny by day, mermaid by night. But Rose the Mermaid just kind of came to be. I've always been writing songs ever since I was a little kid. And one day I just stopped. My grandma passed away and I just kind of didn't want to write anything anymore. And then I just kind of wrote music for myself. And fast forward to like 2020 when I met Jerry at a show. I actually watched Tara's purse for her that night. She needed someone to watch her purse, so I did. And she went to thank me, I think, on Instagram and found an old video of me singing. And they asked me to like write a song. I came in, I sang a little bit, wrote a song, and here we are.
Wow. Hey, quick question. So since did you write any music for his release? Because I tell you why I'm asking that. There's a couple of tracks that has female vocals on it, and usually I read, credits and stuff like that. And were you on any of Jerry's music?
Yeah, I actually did background vocals on Earthquakes, Foresight, and Daddy Issues.
Daddy Issues. Okay,
Yep, that's me.
gotcha. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so Tides, the video. Where did you shoot that at? Because and I tell you why I'm asking. It's got a country out in the country setting. There's an aerial view when it first starts, and it looks like bales of hay and just like a barren land. Tell me about that.
Here we go again. You ask me how I've been, and I lie. You say that I've been living, but really I'm only surviving this fall. I know that when I'm down, I gotta climb, but I feel so small. I don't know the last time that I tried, yeah. I do know the last time that I cried, yeah.
We actually shot Tides in a couple of different places. My backyard was one of them. The shot with the cow, that's my neighbor's cow. Shout out to Dan the cow, he's the best. And then we shot the scenes where it looks like I'm in a tunnel. We were actually like on in an old tunnel, but like where the train tracks used to go over. Cool. It's now like a bike trail. So we were kind of pissing off some bikers because we were just sitting in the middle and playing. And then you are correct. The last scene was definitely at a big old country farm that we had the pleasure of being able to shoot at. And we just kind of took a lot of big shots out there because it was really pretty and it was just empty. So it was perfect for what we wanted.
That's cool. What's the concept? What's the concept behind the lyrics for Tides?
Tides is really just a happy song about sad feelings, about a bad day. If you kind of listen, it's a little deeper than what you first hear. I was just writing just how I felt just at the time, where people were always asking me like, are you okay? Like, how's it going? And I'm normally really positive. So I'm always going to say, yeah, I'm great. This is what's happening. But sometimes you just don't feel that way. And so I was just writing different little pieces here and there. And then when I met Jerry and Tara, they wanted me to write a song. So I just kind of pulled each little piece from my notes and put it together with some chords, and Tides came to be the beauty that it is now.
That's cool. It's a great track. It's a really good song. Really good song.
Thank you.
Who would your dream collab be? I've listened to Tides several times, and there's a band called Mayday. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Yes.
I just really hear one of them dudes coming in on that track somewhere.
That would be awesome.
I always do that. I always listen to a track and it's like, man, I tell you what, that would be great if so-and-so was on that. But that's just my opinion though.
No, I think my dream collabs, I have a couple. I want Rihanna to come out of the woodworks so that we could sing something together because I just love her as a performer. And I feel like every single time she sings, you can feel her soul. Like, I just think she's so beautiful. I love Janae Akio, the way that she writes so poetically and lyrically. I feel like if we were able to work together sometime in the future, that would be great. And then Paramore would be a dream collab. Truthfully. I think I read on Twitter, because I follow Haley, that she was super excited to get back to working on Paramore's new albums, because she was kind of like,
Wow.
she released 2 solo albums, and now she's back to wanting to do that. And I was like, yes, Paramore.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
She it seems like she shot up pretty high solo
Yeah.
than
Oh my
Paramore
gosh.
did.
Her solo albums are just amazing.
Right.
Flowers for Vases and Petals for Armor. I think I listen to it on repeat every day, all day. Paramore, and no matter if it's just Haley or if it's Paramore itself, that's my top favorite band.
Yeah. We actually booked Paramore here in Indianapolis a couple of times, and then shortly thereafter they took a break, and then she just shot up. Did a track with B.O.B. and then just went, high, sky status.
For sure. Yeah, she's amazing. She's a genius.
Who made you pursue music? Like, what made you just flip a light on, like, you know what, I want to start writing songs?
Well, I've always been kind of singing. And when I lost my grandma, I stopped singing. It was really hard for me because she was the one that taught me how to like play piano, and I got like the love for music. But then after I realized like I could play and it like honor her in a way, I started to be like, okay, like let me just start covering songs. And then when it came to writing my own music, I just take inspiration from what's around me. I don't think I was ever thinking about pursuing music. I was just kind of writing things for myself. But Jerry and Tara are just amazing people, and they both just like lit this fire underneath me and just told me like this was great, and I believe them, and I definitely want to just keep putting it out there. And I love seeing all the feedback and how much people are really resonating with Tides. That makes me feel really good, because I was kind of worried. I didn't think anybody was gonna like feel the way that I felt, to be like, oh, we've heard this before. So to feel like really welcomed into the music industry now that I've dipped my tail in it, I'm super excited just to kind of keep doing it. So
Jerry's good people.
Yeah, he's
they
great.
both
He's
are.
amazing.
Yeah, she's on top of her game, and I tell you, Jerry, he's really, really on top of his game. His release is badass as well. So
F.B.A. in total, the whole team is really just A1. Like Tom and Bree and Wash, Jerry, Tara, everybody on this team, like I swear it's a family, but they are fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's what you need. We've managed bands before, and just looking at other, the way others manage it, they've always got some motive, on why they're doing that. And,
Yeah.
and yes and no, they should do that, but I also think you should have the best interest of whoever you're trying to market, your artist. And I've always, tried to, stay grounded with these artists, that we push and, market, because of course without them, there is no management team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
like
if you
Jerry's really passionate about just like making good music. And I think
Right.
everything he touches is gold. So it's just an honor to be a part of this family and to be a part of this team, and to have them backing me is just like a dream come true for sure.
Now is Tides is the only release you have right now, right? I mean, are you going to do anything else?
Currently, I do have a single that's going to come out here soon. It's called Currents. So I do have more in the mix, and I have plenty more in the safe. So I'm definitely just kind of getting in the studio, getting my ball rolling, and getting them all out there for people to actually hear me.
Of course, you've probably been asked this a million times. The whole COVID thing, shutting everything down in 2020. Do you have any touring plans? Like once restrictions are lifted, do you have anything scheduled?
I don't personally right now, but that's definitely something that we're looking at in the books. I'm excited just to kind of get out there and really get to be myself on the stage. I've never actually done that. I've only ever been like behind the scenes in the choir kind of a thing. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm super excited just to kind of meet people and see
That's cool.
who really is like a part of the Mer Squad. I love that.
That's cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. Now you said you're from Missouri.
Yes, Kansas
Correct.
City.
Yeah, and then you said you never really been out on touring. So when you do go out on tour, where do you want to start at? Do you want to start in like the big cities or just anywhere?
I think I'm down for everything. I've never been on a plane for family trips. We drove places, so I haven't really got to see most of the 50 states. So I'm kind of just down to see like where the wind takes me. I don't care if it's a small town, a big town. I'm down for it all. I'm just super excited just to be myself and to actually like, I don't know, just having music out for real for me is just a huge deal. And so I just can't wait to see how people resonate with the next songs that I have coming up for sure. Because it's all just a piece of me. I'm just taking pages from my diary. Every single thing that I write is how I feel one day. So
that's cool.
I'm being really raw and uncut out here.
That's cool. Now, do you play any other instruments or just piano?
I currently just play the piano. I used to play flute when I was in middle school, and I was pretty good at it. and I want to learn guitar. I have a guitar at home that I'm trying to teach myself, but that is not easy.
My daughter, she was trying to learn guitar, and she's like, you know what, Dad, I'm done.
It's hard. It really is hard. I think if I could learn how to play guitar, the guitar that I have is blue, so it'd be so pretty just to like play on stage with. But I don't know. I have piano fingers. I don't really think I
You're
have
right.
guitar.
And I mean, you know, with my daughter, I got her, you know, lessons, of course, and I had, you know, musician friends, you know, that would come in and like, are you familiar with John Mellencamp?
Yeah,
Okay, well, his bass player actually lives north of us, and he really
that's
he
cool.
really loves picking up, you know, new artists. They opened up a music school and stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, you know, give him a call. I'm like, let me take my daughter up there, which she could give a crap who he is. Like, she has no clue. She doesn't care. She just wanted to learn how to play guitar. So I thought maybe I would make a couple phone calls and take my daughter to get some, you know, lessons from someone that's somebody,
Yeah.
you know, which like again, she has no clue who he is. Like I say, Mellencamp's bass player, and she's like, so
My mom had us listening to everything, so I don't really think anything's off the table except for maybe some polka.
yeah, that's good. That, you know, my household the same way, man. Like, well, my mother was like a rocker. Like she's the one I think that actually got me into music. She listened to like Kiss, and you know, you always hear all them stories. Kiss, you know, everyone liked Kiss, but you know, then like my house, you know, there's rap, there's R&B, there's metal, you know, there's just everything.
A little bit of everything. And I think that's what makes the music industry so great, because it doesn't have to just be one thing. It could be a little mix of everything. And I think that's really amazing how music can just be a little bit of what you want it to be. It doesn't have to stick in one genre.
Yeah, it would get boring, you know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was always the kid that was listening to like, you know, Public Enemy, and then Anthrax, and then, you know, heavy stuff like Metallica, and then Cyndi Lauper. You know, I mean, I was all over the place. I truly was. I was all over the place. You know, of course, I had an older sister too that was, you know, always influenced, you know, me, and you know, listen to all these different artists. So I mean, I was all over the place. Although I was more into metal, it's just I had a love for music, and I just never could see someone really just listening to one kind of music, because I would always get bored. It's like you can only listen to so much metal, you can only listen to so much rap,
I can
you know,
understand that.
and
Yeah.
I would just always be all over the place, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, I was a big little punk rocker. I mean, I still have purple hair. I don't
Right.
think that's ever going to change.
right,
I absolutely I was ready just to listen to anything that was screaming my heart out. I would Bring Me to the Horizon, 3 Days Grace. Like, I was just like, let's do something different as a kid in my era. I was like, I don't want to listen to what everyone else is listening to. JoJo, who's that? But secretly, I was listening to JoJo.
Of course,
Like,
of
I
course.
just think that music is amazing. And I think it's just a great way to express your feelings and express yourself. And it's okay if it's good, bad, ugly. I just think that the fact that we're able to do this, and we're able just to get out there, anybody, any artist, whether you're big or small, and just sing some stuff or rap some stuff or scream some stuff, I think that's just an awesome opportunity.
Where did you get the name Mermaid? Rose the Mermaid, like the mermaid.
Well, Rose is my middle name. And the mermaid part just kind of comes from the purple hair and being a nanny. Kids always ask me all the time if I am a mermaid. And I've been obsessed with mermaids and the marine life, sharks, dolphins, all of that my whole life. I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was a kid. So I just kind of think that it just kind of stemmed over. I made it my Instagram handle one day, and they were like, that actually is kind of cool. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Rose the Mermaid.
That's cool.
I'm not against that.
Well, when I was listening to Tides, I picked up on the lyrics. Dream of sleeping with the fish. I think
Sleeping with the fishes, yeah.
So I kind of put that together. I'm like, well, I wonder if that's why, she calls herself a mermaid.
That's actually like a play on words on multiple levels. Some people know Sleeping with the Fishes, like The Godfather, like
Of
Sleeping
course.
with the Fishes, which could work if you were in that context. It totally could work. When I wrote it, there was actually this kid lullaby CD mix that my parents had, and the only song that it would play was Sleeping with the Fishes, and it would go, sleeping with the fishes is what my greatest wish is. The way they sleep is so suspicious. I want to sleep tonight with the fishes. And that was like replaying in my head, even now to the day. Some days I'll just be driving like down the street and I'll just hear that in my head. So when I actually originally wrote it, that's what I was thinking of. Like, I used to dream of sleeping with the fishes because that little melody was constantly playing in my head, and they would only play it to get my little brother and my little sister to sleep.
That's cool. That's really cool. So on your next releases, are you going to have Jerry on any of your next
I
releases,
don't
or is that top
know. I
secret?
don't know. I'm down to work with whoever wants to work with me. Honestly, I think that if a big name wants to work with me, a small name wants to work with me, that's awesome. I did a feature for a gentleman named Accurate, and I just feel like I'm down. Like I'm excited. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I also am just having the time of my life. So if anybody wants to take me on and sing with me or rap with me or whatever, let me know. Hit my DMs. I'll let my managers know, and let's do it.
Yeah, take your time. Definitely take your time and enjoy it. Be a sponge.
Yeah,
Be
and
a
I have
sponge.
so much that I want to get out that's my own. So I'm honestly down for whatever. Like I feel like we have plenty of time. If I was able to make tides during quarantine, like once things start to get back to normal, it's only going to go up from here.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny, with the whole COVID thing and quarantining. There's so many bands that we have talked to that they wrote the most amazing music during this weird ass time. There's a lot of bands. I always get like little snippets from bands like, check this out, and I'm like, why didn't you write that 2 years ago? Or why didn't you write that a year ago? And I think everyone just gets caught up in that mill of right tour, right tour, right tour, go, go, go. And now when everything had to just take an abrupt stop, and everyone had to look around and go to plan B, of course they kept writing. Man, I tell you what, I think this gave a lot of
Yeah,
artists a lot of time to really just stop and concentrate on what they're doing and really write some good stuff.
I totally agree. I think that as although it is hard and it is affecting so many lives right now, and I'm not saying that it's easy in any way. I think that we all kind of needed a second to like stop and breathe and a pause to realize what was really important to us, but also to realize like what we're made of as humans. Like we can literally do anything if you put our minds to it. It
Oh yeah.
doesn't matter how big or how small. And I feel like you said, a lot of artists definitely have recognized that, and myself included. I'm realizing like, wow, I actually can do something. And the fact that we're able to rise above this right now is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you, when COVID hit, like we're so used to doing interviews in person. On when bands come through on tours, like we had our all last year was like already booked. All the tours coming through, like like every tour we're always hitting the tours and doing interviews with every artist that comes in town. And when stuff started getting canceled, we're like, what are we gonna do? I
Yeah,
mean, of course we have a website. We can post, press releases on the website, but that's not to me. That's not good enough. Like, people are more of a watch uh, type of personality now. And then I was like, well, we better go to Plan B. So let's start a podcast.
and
Because
look
like I
where
said,
you're at.
we're so used to doing this live, in person, and we really had to put this thing together pretty quick.
But I think the great thing about podcasts is like sometimes when you're live and in person, you're not able to like really truly be yourself and like take in the questions and the atmosphere and like what you really want to say and how you want to word things. So I think that the podcast is a great way for artists all like of all kinds to be able to be more personable, and for us to be able
Yeah,
to really sit down and make it a more like intimate conversation versus just, hey, here's your 5 questions and let's go. So
you're
I kind of
right.
like this because for me starting out, I was really nervous, but this is great because now I feel like I can actually like be myself, and I'll be a little less nervous when I actually get to meet people in person.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, is there anything that you want to touch on that you want to put out there? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to add to this?
I just like I want people to really like follow me. I really want people to follow me on this journey. I want you guys to see what I'm about. I promise if you don't like tides that you'll like something else. That currents is going to be great. The other things that I have are going to be great. And that's not just like me tooting my own horn. I really genuinely feel like I'm saying some things that people need to hear, things that I wish I heard years and years and years ago. And I'm super excited to meet everybody. And obviously F.B.A. as a whole, Jerry and everybody else, like we're going to go big places. So I definitely want people to tune into the team and follow everybody on all social media and just stay positive. I know things are hard. I know things are rough, but like it's going to get better. Like this too shall pass. And as long as we stay kind and as long as we stay positive and we keep pushing to be one, it'll be all good.
That's killer. Give us your social media links before we end this.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Rose the Mermaid. You can follow me on Instagram _Rose the Mermaid, Twitch Rose the Mermaid _, and then Rose the Mermaid on actual Facebook. I have a music page.
All right, cool.
I didn't know that the world could be so cold, that they could be so bold, that I'd feel so alone. While everyone else is feeling whole, I'm stuck with a big hole, unable to fill my role.